Out front now, former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger. I am pleased to welcome him to CNN. He's appearing tonight for the first time in his new role, which is senior political commentator. And Congressman, we really are thrilled to have you on board. So welcome. Welcome. People have seen you over the past, of course, couple of years at the January 6th committee, and we're so glad to have you on board. So
it's great to be on the team, by the way. Thank you. I'm excited.
All right. So here you are tonight, not about to go to the House floor. For the first time in 10 years. You wouldn't be obligated to do that.
Who didn't see that coming? Frickin' Adam Kinzinger. Kinzinger? I don't know. I don't ever know how to properly say his name. Who cares? He's a rhino, and here you go. Please stop feeding the rhinos. A friendly reminder that some Republicans are no better than Democrats. And that's true. And that's kind of what we're going to get into today. Now, if you were in the chat, I had some technical difficulties. I've been streaming to Odysee. My mind's my
gosh, my brain just literally pooped.
Yeah, that. But, I've been streaming to Odysee for so long, and, just at the last minute as the show was about to go live, I realized, oh, crap, I need to set my stream to YouTube. That way, you guys can see me. But it's all good now. We got it going. Hi, welcome to another episode of A Couple of Hoosiers podcast. Jeez, this is going to be a fun episode. I'm your host, Ricky Kurtz. Let me take a drink after all of that. Oh, my gosh. I'm trying to think of everything that I'm going to say, and I got so many things going on right now. Now, originally, I had planned on trash-talking veganism because, it deserves to be laughed at because it's laughable and everything that they argue is just pure insane. But my co-host, Charlie Goldsmith, couldn't be on the show tonight, so we're going to save that episode for next Thursday. Don't worry. The vegans are going to have their day in court on A Couple of Hoosiers podcast. Happy U.S. Capitol Open House Day. Yeah. And that's why I had to go ahead and name today's episode the YouTube Insurrection because, that's what they like to call this day, January 6th. And I just got one of my strikes removed from YouTube, so I got a little bit of leeway. So I'm able to be on here again and not have to worry about if I make a mistake and accidentally say something, just speaking my opinions, not expecting anything that I say to be taken completely serious by people. I mean, come on, I'm just some guy on the internet. Just talking about things. But you know what? Before we get into anything, I need to run my ad if I can find it. There it is. Couple of Hoosiers podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox, pretty much anywhere that you get your podcasts. We live stream on Odysee, YouTube, and upload to Rumble. If you want to get everything all in one spot, just go to coupleofhoosiers.com. I write blogs for every episode, and I make memes. They're hilarious. Also, R&M Kurtz Woodworks. Me and my wife own a little woodworking company, and we are on Facebook. You can find us there. Right down there is our email that you can email us and get a hold of us, see if we can do anything for you. But yeah, it's going to be a fun episode, We got to talk about some things, the January 6th prisoners. They're some of them are still locked up. And nobody has been charged with crimes of insurrection. But, we'll talk about it. Also, Kevin McCarthy. I put a poll in there. Be sure to let me know what you think about it. Do you think that he should be the House Speaker? He was voted in, I believe. I got an article that we're going to read. I haven't been following the thing too much. I mean, I honestly don't care what they do, but we're going to talk about it. I don't like them. Not a fan. And then what else did I have to talk about? I know there was some other stuff. No, I think that's it. We'll see how it goes. But if you guys are seeing us on YouTube right now and you haven't seen us in a while, it's probably because we've been over here. Odysee. Go like and follow us on there. Be sure to do that. That way you can catch all of our streams. I think the way that I'm going to do this, because YouTube wants to be a bunch of buttholes all the time and, remove my content and give me strikes and threaten to permanently ban me from the channel. I'm going to do like Odysee exclusives, and like if there's content that I know won't be removed from YouTube, I'll go ahead and throw it on here. I think we might do YouTube for the vegan episode next Thursday. I think that should be fine. I don't think, as long as Charlie, doesn't say anything crazy like he normally does.
We need to stop keeping old people alive.
Yeah, like that. But I think it should be good. I think it should be good. Damn it. Banned. I'm just joking. Let's go ahead and get into some stuff. Because, we live in a funny world, and it makes me think of this. But yeah, also, I forgot to say, smash the like button. Smash it. Don't just click it. Smash it. And let me know if you're seeing everything okay. I know somebody was commenting in the chat and never confirmed whether or not he could see me. What are you doing down there, huh? Come on now.
Come on, man.
Yeah, listen to our great president over there. Everybody on Twitter seems to like him. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it's a Twitter thing. But let's go over here. Let's take a look at some stuff. I saw this picture and I absolutely loved it because if you guys know me, you guys probably know that I'm not too big on the whole Fed and Federal Reserve and all that stuff. But I saw this and it was truly inspiring. Dude just casually painting the Federal Reserve in flames with gallows while in front of the Federal Reserve. This is how you do art. I see you. Thanks. Yeah, that's some impressive artwork there. I can dig it. Because I'm not a fan of that privately owned company that controls all of our currency. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But I saw this video and Jen Psaki, she used to be one of our great press secretaries, and she said a lot of great things. But now we got the new press secretary, and she says some great things as well. But I saw this, and I just go ahead and watch it. It's good. It's good.
Thank you, Jen. First, on immigration, our team in Texas is saying that you guys are starting to give smartphones to border crossers, hoping that they'll use the phones to check in or to be tracked. Which part of that is supposed to deter people from crossing illegally into the States?
Well, I think you, of all people, since you've asked me a range of questions on this topic over time,
audit the
would
Fed.
recognize that we need to take steps to ensure that we know where individuals are and we can track and we can check in with them.
Yeah, they want to know where they're at, and it's like, yeah, they know where they're at. They know they've committed a crime. What? Like, you know where they're at. You know they committed a crime, but you're not going to hold them accountable? You guys are crazy. Just crazy. And also, I have openly spoken about how I'm not that big of a fan of Fox News. I don't mind Tucker Carlson. I don't know. He's a good guy, but this video shows exactly why you should not trust Fox News. They've come out with a lot of horrible takes. They were pushing for what was his name? Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania. I thought that was a horrible decision. Yay, Sean Hannity for that one. I think he played a big role in that. But I remember they came out, supporting child transgender surgeries, and I was just like, what's wrong with you guys? Just look into who owns them, and you'll see. So if I go to Mexico, then cross the border, can I get a new iPhone 13? Probably. I mean, just roll around in the mud a little bit. I think Tucker and Gutfield are the only thing keeping Fox alive. Probably. And then also like their big billionaire owners who are very, very, very liberal. But let's go ahead and take a look at this video. I thought that this was crazy.
Discuss ways to get around this and try to come
Fox
together
and Friends
at noon.
Right, but here's the thing. If you pick Jim, just so insincere the insurrectionists are, we probably shouldn't use that word, the people that don't want to vote for Kevin McCarthy. They would disagree with that, right? Saboteurs.
Here, let's hear that again.
Discuss ways to get around this and try to come together today at noon.
Right, but here's the thing. If you pick Jim, just so insincere the insurrectionists are, we probably shouldn't use that word. Probably shouldn't use that word. Sincere the insurrectionists are. Sincere the insurrectionists are. Sincere the insurrectionists are. Probably shouldn't use that word.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. But I mean, just showing their true colors. I mean, the insurrectionist. If you don't agree with Kevin McCarthy becoming House Speaker, you're now an insurrectionist. What? Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't trust Fox News. They're not your friend, and they don't care about you. It's just more legacy media that's stirring the pot, and like just I don't know. I don't like them. Like I said, and yeah, I agree with Burr Kerr down there. I think Tucker and Gutfield are good, but everything else on there is just poison. Just poison. Like, yeah, don't support them. Don't support them. And now I played this video in the last episode, but I thought I had to bring it back because it's talking about January 6th and just saying some great things about it. Let's go ahead and listen.
So I'll first say, and you've heard me say this many times, and the president as well, we've been very clear from the beginning that what we saw on January 6th was the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And the president has been very clear. Our democracy continues and remains under threat, and we all have a part to protect it. The committee has been doing important bipartisan work to get to the truth of what happened on that very day. So we can make sure that doesn't happen again. So I'll leave it there.
I don't know who made that video and put the clown makeup on her. Whoever does it with like tons of videos. I see them all the time, and they're absolutely wonderful. It just goes to show how great technology can be, even though when you look into a lot of things that we've looked in, technology can be very scary. But like, yeah, she's saying January 6th was the worst attack on democracy since the Civil War. Get out of here. That's just ridiculous. That's about as ridiculous as like the claims that they were making that like January 6th was as bad as 9/11 or Pearl Harbor. I mean, these people are just out of their minds and just speaking right out of their butts. But yeah. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't understand how anybody who's actually like looked into what happened that day can even say I don't get it. I don't understand it. Yeah, I think it was a bad thing that happened. I don't agree with the people that were getting violent on that day, but I mean, when you really look into like a lot of the things, we'll be careful. We're back under the eye of the overlords at YouTube, so we got to be careful on what we say. So let's just go ahead and let's get over here. But real quick, before I start getting into some of these articles, for anybody here that doesn't know about this Odysee, I'm going to show you what the channel looks like. That way you guys can go ahead and like and follow it. So, yeah, over here on Odysee.com, a couple of Hoosiers podcasts. This is where we've been doing most of our live streams. You can find most of our latest episodes that we put on there. We do a lot of stuff on there. We've had some pretty good ones. I've tried putting some clips here and there. What is going on? My phone just went crazy for a second. It scared me. I thought there was an emergency, but it was just some more breaking news that I don't care about right now. But yeah, you can go in here, go to content. You can see all the episodes that we've done lately. I really suggest people go back and watch episode 38, The Diabolical Plot of Alfred Kinsey and John Money. It gets into a lot of stuff that might shine a little light on why we're at where we're at today. But also, go over here to channels if you don't want to watch the whole hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes even 3 hours. It depends on how I'm feeling. But you guys can go over here to Odysee to COH podcast clips, and you guys can follow that, like it, follow it. I put clips of everything that we do in the episodes on here. That one right there was a pretty weird one. State-funded BDSM dungeons. Kind of scary. But, I mean, people do that. Also, if you're on Facebook, come over here to a couple of Hoosiers podcasts on Facebook and like and follow us. I try to keep people updated on what's going on with the podcast, when we're going to be going live, what episodes are coming out. It is sad that you have to watch what you say in a nation that fancies itself free and made the tube what it is today. Very true, very true. Like, if you go back, like, I remember back before YouTube even had, like, advertisement or anything like that. And, like, yeah, people that were speaking their mind back then is a big reason on why YouTube is so huge right now. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like YouTube for a lot of things. There's a lot of good content on here. Not even just, like, political stuff. I mean, like, usually when I have, like, issues with cars or something, like, I can go in and look at YouTube, and several people have, like, videos and stuff like that where you can, like, still be a backyard mechanic. You kept freezing up for a couple of seconds. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my internet's not doing too good right now. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully it stays good. It's still saying live on my end, so I'm going to keep on going as long as it says live. But, yeah, there's a lot of good things to YouTube. It's just, it really is a dilemma. It's like, I don't want to support people who don't support my values, like the freedom of speech. I believe that everybody should have the right to say what they want to say. No matter how offensive it is, people should be able to say it. I don't care. Like, because, like what I've talked about before, like, I've been on this channel Odysee, or this website Odysee, and there is a lot of people on there, and they do let you say whatever you want to say. And people do that, and there's some really dumb people, but I mean, you gotta take these people and you gotta see what they're saying. You gotta challenge what they're saying. That way you don't just, because what it's doing is dividing people and putting these people into echo chambers, and that's what creates extremism, because they're never being challenged by anybody who disagrees with them. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. What are we going to do? Come on, YouTube. Quit being lame and just let people speak. Just do it. Just do it. It'll be good for you. People will like you again. Because people aren't too fond of you. But let's go back to what I was talking about before someone had to say an interesting comment and put my mind all the way over to that. I enjoy it, though. I appreciate the comments. Make sure if you're watching, you leave a comment. Or if you're watching this live, be sure to jump into this live chat. We have fun and talk. I engage with my audience. I'm a good guy like that. That's not what I wanted. Oh. Yep, I just saw. Yeah, I think what was causing the freezing is probably when I switched screens and all that stuff. So that's probably what you're seeing. I don't know. Deal with it. But yeah, like I was saying, if you're on Facebook, come over here, like and follow us on Facebook. I do try to keep people updated when we're going live, when content is being uploaded, when I do blogs, I put them up there and all that stuff. Also, the website, coupleofhoosiers.com. Not a couple of Hoosiers, just couple of Hoosiers. I know it's misleading up there. I know. Don't get me wrong. It was what we had to do. It was the domain name. It was the domain name that they let us have. Crazy. But you guys can go here. I got the home screen right here. That awesome logo of ours. And then you can also catch the latest episode from Spotify on here. You can catch the latest blog down here and all that stuff. And then if you scroll all the way to the top, I got memes over here. I think you drop these, your dunce cap and your L, all that stuff. It's all good. It's all good. But let's go ahead and switch it over to some of these topics. I saw this, and speaking of like all this January 6th stuff and like things going on at the Capitol, you gotta take a look at this video.
He's taking drugs.
So here, so if you haven't heard, Ashley Babbitt, the lady who was killed on January 6th, the day of that horrible insurrection. The only person that died, Ashley Babbitt, her mom was arrested today for jaywalking. So Taylor Hanson tweets out, "It's perfectly acceptable to drop acid in front of the Capitol Police, but God forbid Ashley Babbitt's mother jaywalks." And yeah, so let's take this from the beginning and let's watch this.
Drugs? He's taking drugs. Hey, what did you just take? What? Is that acid? What is that?
It's contact acid. You just look at it and you're gonna get high.
King acid? What the fuck?
Yeah, you're already getting wasted.
You don't want that Hep C to land on you. Hepatitis.
Oh. Drugs?
Now, what's really funny that this guy right here, I noticed this. If you guys follow Steven Crowder, he does a segment called Change My Mind. And like when I saw this guy, I instantly recognized him. He's a guy who says this.
Eat my butt!
He's that guy. I couldn't believe it when I saw this video. I was like, there's no way. But yeah, look at this. Look at this. He's even wearing the same that thing on his chest. But look at this.
Now finally, realizing he was no longer the center of attention, this crazy leftist decided that he wanted to sit down.
You want to sit down and talk?
Sure.
What do you think?
I don't know if he's reasonable.
Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah, I don't know. You
don't know if
I'm reasonable? Yeah, I don't. I won't scream at you.
I obliged with some very clear conditions.
All right, the only thing is you have to promise that when we're done, and you leave. You can't just sit here and not let anyone else sit down.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I get up no matter what. And, you're not going to throw me up. I'll get up when it's time to go.
Whatever. You can't just sit here and not let anyone else sit down.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I get up no matter what. And, you're not going to throw me up. I'll get up when it's time to go.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, are you really seriously? I don't think so. Have fun with that.
Comfortable,
to feel like you're a racist because you support Donald Trump?
If you sit down.
Is that why?
If you sit down, the onus is on you to change my mind. That's the whole idea. So you rationalize your argument.
Part of changing your mind is revealing your motives.
Well, no, you don't know my motives.
Why you don't want to see Trump as a racist. You have motives. And yeah, you do. You definitely have motives. You want to get Trump elected, right? You're a Trump supporter. You want to see him get elected. You don't want people to think he's a racist. And because...
Sit down. You're going to be civil. You're going to come down. So you have to let me finish speaking.
But you can't call something I say incorrect when it's actually correct.
Sure, I can call it incorrect. I'm going to explain to you why it's incorrect.
And I can say your statement of saying it was incorrect was incorrect.
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead.
You're a racist.
You're a racist.
You're a tried and true racist.
How am I a racist?
I think you're a racist.
Okay,
the fact that you made this your raison d'etre,
How?
I think you're a racist. I think you're anti-Jewish by insulting people of the Jewish ethnicity, claiming that you are Jesus Christ.
No,
I think you're a racist.
Insult anybody.
Prove to me you're not a racist.
Okay, I will.
Prove to me you're not a racist.
I will. There is no proof. You can't prove you're not a racist.
You're a racist.
You can prove yourself a racist, though.
Oh.
Now watch where he gets crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to stand right here. Hey, keep your hands off me, little boy.
Leave.
What is this? Hey, get your goddamn hands off me! What is this? What is this? Hey, boy, I'm going after my stuff, you tool.
Let him take his stuff.
I haven't raised my hand to you once. What is this crap? This crap. Eat you ass. You.
Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's straight from me. Jesus Christ. Eat my butt.
So there you have it. If you've ever heard me play this,
eat my butt.
That's where it comes from. And I just saw that video of this guy right here, and I was like, no way. So I had to talk about it, because it's wonderful. No, I'm not talking to you. People trying to call me while I'm in the middle of a live stream. What is wrong with them? But what did you guys think about that guy? Did he seem rational? I don't think so. But let's go ahead and start getting into some of the topics. Let's start off. Hey, look at that. Ray Epps is trending. Weird. But let's jump over here. Another tweet from Taylor Hanson. Because if you guys don't know who Taylor Hanson is, he's a guy, he's an independent journalist, and he was actually there the day of the horrible insurrection that was clearly an insurrection and not just, a riot that got a little out of control. Maybe was motivated by some horrible people. But let's go ahead and read through here. Now, he already has a typo that don't say anything. He went and corrected it. Mistakes happen. It happens. But let me correct him there. 2 years ago at 2:44 p.m., I watched an unarmed woman, Ashley Babbitt, get shot and killed in front of me. This single-handedly changed my life forever. Even though it's been 2 years, it feels like it was just yesterday. The J6 committee refused to speak with me. So, yeah, he was there. He was filming a lot of things and all that. And he talks about it today, because it's the anniversary. So we got to talk about it. So January 6, 2021 started like any other day of reporting. I woke up early and planned to conduct interviews and document what was taking place. I anticipated violence from left-wing groups due to the pattern I had seen emerge at prior Trump rallies once it got dark. Yeah, I think that's the biggest surprise. I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen because it wasn't typical of Trump supporters to, start rioting and all that stuff. So it was crazy. So there's a lot of people saying, it was a lot of left-wing people or Antifa starting it, and no, it was a lot of Trump supporters that were doing it. I will admit that. I've watched plenty of video on it. I've seen a lot of stuff on it. I don't like the fact that it happened, but it happened. But the fact that they call it an insurrection is just silly. So around 12:20 p.m., I heard someone gathering a group to head to the Capitol. Trump was still speaking, so I found it odd. So naturally, I followed. Later on, I would find out that this was Ray Epps. Aw, he's not trending anymore. How sad. Okay, so later on, I would find out this was Ray Epps as well as other key actors. The ellipse is 1.6 miles away from the Capitol. It takes around 30 to 33 minutes via walk. Now, the ellipse is where Trump's speech was taking place. That's where he was doing it, so that's what he's referring to. It was 1.6 miles away from the Capitol, and it takes about 30 to 33 minutes to walk there. Trump began addressing the crowd at 11:58 a.m. and made his final remarks at 1:12 p.m. Capitol grounds were breached 19 minutes prior to Trump's speech concluding. So that kind of throws a little wrench into the Democrats' narrative that, you know, Trump incited the riots and the insurrection. Because, you know, a big thing that they were saying is like he said in his speech, you know, fight like hell. Because nobody like says that as like a figure of speech, you know. Nobody does that. Okay, I arrived outside the Capitol at 12:50 p.m. Within 3 minutes, the initial barrier, which had under 7 officers standing post, was overwhelmed. The second barrier went down within the same minute. This time, it was Ray Epps who visibly spoke to Ryan Samsel and others right before. For a while, all was calm and peaceful. Then a concussion grenade was thrown deep into what was a peaceful crowd. This caused an eruption within the crowd. The crowd surged due to those in the back not understanding what was happening, pushing others forward consistently. So that's what I was, you know, kind of getting at, you know. They were throwing the concussion grenades into the middle of the crowd, you know, not at the front of the crowd, you know, like back them up. They were throwing them in the middle of the crowd, you know. You could speculate as to why that would be their, you know, target area. Who knows? But, okay. Let's just keep on reading. For over an hour, a continuous barrage of concussion grenades, tear gas, pepper spray, and other crowd munitions were deployed on the crowd. This affected thousands of people, most of whom had no idea what was going on and hadn't been violent at all. I was hit by multiple rubber munitions and maced into absolute oblivion, even while wearing visible press credentials. The police were 10 times more aggressive than I have ever seen at any riot I covered in 2020. Yeah, he was also at a lot of the Black Lives Matter riots that were happening over the Summer of Love in 2020, you know. May 29, 2020, the real insurrection. Look into it. For over an hour, this went on. During this barrage, Kevin Greason and Benjamin Phillips both suffered fatal heart attacks from the munitions being thrown. Munitions were not authorized to be used on the 6th. People were on fire and had holes blown in them at this point. Here's a little video of what was happening. I'm not playing sound. Just so if you guys are wondering, but yeah. It was crazy. After an officer pushed Derek Vargo off the inaugural stairs, breaking his legs, the officer taunted the crowd below, who were visibly upset. This caused the crowd to surge up the staircase, which eventually arrived at the western doors of the Capitol. The police then stood back and watched as people broke windows with a 2x4 and riot shield. Those who broke the windows of the Capitol on the west side were initially placed on an FBI wanted list, only to be taken off. They, of course, have not been charged. weird. Once inside the building, it was a weird scene. People wandering aimlessly, not really understanding where to go or what to do. You know, they've tried to like say that this was like some like, you know, big conspiracy plot, and like they had this massive plan on what they were going to do, and turns out they were all unorganized and just kind of like shooting from maybe I shouldn't say that, but you know, they were just going with the flow. I mean, they didn't have a plan going into this. I mean, most of the people that went there, yeah, it was not sure if I should say what it was. I got to be really careful. But it was to stop something. You know, not going to get into it, but I mean, like they see, this is the problem with YouTube, and this is why I'm like, I kind of really don't care like what happens with my YouTube channel. It's like I want to be able to say what I want to say, but I'm like, ugh. So be sure to go over to Odysee and follow me, and go over to Rumble and follow me there as well. I'm on there. I'm not live streaming to Rumble yet, but I will be in the future. But yeah, it just sucks that I can't like talk about what I want to say, because I got to be careful on, you know, what I say, because I never know. YouTube, when they take my stuff down, they don't ever like clearly tell me like what violated their terms of service. So I'm kind of in the dark on it. They give me this vague, you know, misinformation thing, and I'm just like, why don't you just tell me? Why don't you just tell me? And then what's really rich about it is that like they give you the video of your episode, and you can like, you know, they say, here, you can watch where you messed up, and you know, the video starts at the beginning of the video. So I'm like, the whole thing? So who knows if this video will stay up? I don't know. I'm trying to be cautious, but there you go. Almost everyone had their phones out and were recording. Many were there singing songs and chanting, "Stop the blank." I eventually followed a line of people up a spiral staircase, which led me to a rotunda. There was a small line of police present initially, and it quickly took a turn. Tear gas was deployed, and a few people within the crowd began pushing the officers back. The rotunda became jam-packed with people, like outside. There was what I would describe as a crowd surge. People in the back pushing, so those in the front had no choice but to advance. I saw multiple people escort police forward so they did not get caught in the surge. Eventually, I ended up outside the speaker's door alongside Q Shaman, Podium Man, and others. This is where police negotiated on video with the crowd, claiming that if protesters remained calm and peaceful, they would be allowed to sit in on the sessions. It's a weird thing to say. Obviously, this was not the case, but it was tried anyways. This calmed the crowd quite a bit for a few minutes until Zachary Alam and a few other people in the crowd began to scream and get loud. At this point, only about 3 officers were standing in front of the lobby. Officers moved, and that's when a large crowd formed against the door of the speaker's chamber. After minutes of nothing happening, I noticed Ashley Babbitt walking left, so I followed. I walked down the hallway behind her and turned left into a room where a large George Washington portrait hanged. This was the room seen on John Sullivan's stream where he broke the window. I turned around and walked straight out of the room, once again seeing Ashley Babbitt and deciding to follow her. She was on her phone and didn't seem to know where she was either. At this point, Ashley and I were walking side by side, and we passed a calm sergeant-at-arms employee who was on his phone. I asked him how he was doing, and he said good. Ashley and I were the first to arrive at the doors in the speaker's hallway. I offered Officer Yetter water. play this sound.
How you doing, man? Good. Stay safe, all right? Man, you are covered. I thought I was bad. You got it way worse. Hey, do you need water or something, man?
I don't know. Everything about this seems weird, but they'll legacy media will claim one thing. Ashley talked with the officers briefly. Then the room began to fill up quickly. John Sullivan reached the front of the crowd by telling others he had a knife. Zachary Alam became erratic and started breaking windows. This is where everything really took a turn. Something that is extremely unreported about those moments is the fact that Ashley Babbitt tried to physically stop Zachary Alam after the officer standing in front of the doors shifted over. She physically grabbed him, pulled him, and landed a punch in an attempt to stop him. Punches him. Like, hey, quit being a dummy. Yeah, the cops just left. Like, why did Ashley did not break anything. She tried to stop those attacking the barriers multiple times. To this day, I wish I could have done more after she was shot. Anyone who has seen someone die in a violent manner understands this. The CER team was entering the room at the moment. Boom, punches him. Michael Bird claims he shot Ashley Babbitt because CERT had not arrived. They were present in the room and were moving forward to de-escalate. They did not feel the need to shoot anyone or to resort to violence. Michael Bird became trigger happy and shot an unarmed woman posing no threat. What I witnessed on the 6th was government-sanctioned murder. The media immediately reported inaccurately on what happened and spun a false narrative labeling Ashley a terrorist. No real investigation was made into Bird. Instead, he profited over $164,000 from killing Ashley. The committee refused to talk to me even though I offered testimony and video. Adam Kinzinger, I don't care, and others did not seriously investigate what took place. Instead, he donated to Michael Bird's GoFundMe. My prayers are with those affected by violence on today's anniversary. And see, he did correct it. 2 years. But yeah, I mean, like, he was there. You saw some of the video that he had, and I've seen a lot of his video, and he captured a lot of stuff that was there. And I mean, there's a lot of things. I'm sure most people that'll watch this know for a fact like what really happened that day. It was not an insurrection. They were not trying to overthrow the government. That is just ridiculous. But yeah, that he talked about the guy who murdered Ashley Babbitt, and let's get him right here. Michael Bird. That's his face. That's the guy. Now, I don't wish any harm onto him. I'm not trying to do that. I just feel like people should know who he is, because the government and the media has completely just swept this under the rug like nothing happened. They say that this was the most tragic event to ever happen in American history, and nothing compares to it. Let's go over to here to Politico. They're always saying, good stuff. But let's see how they try to like cover up what really happened with her. Capitol Police Lieutenant Michael Bird speaks out on fatal shooting of Ashley Babbitt. The officer who fired the shot, who has been cleared of wrongdoing, revealed his identity for the first time after having gone into hiding because of threats. That's a pretty cool picture. So this was October. No, that's not October. What's the 8th? July, August. I'm smart sometimes, not always. That's what makes the show fun. Be sure to watch, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So, August 26, 2021 is when this was written. Pro-Trump protesters gather in front of the U.S. Capitol building on January 6, 2021 in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, the identity was revealed back in 2021. So, I mean, I'm sure people know who he is. Lieutenant Michael Byrd, the U.S. Capitol Police officer who fatally shot Ashley Babbitt during the January 6th insurrection, defended his actions and revealed his identity for the first time in an interview with NBC's Lester Holt that aired Thursday evening. "I know that day I saved countless lives," Byrd told the network. "I know members of Congress, as well as my fellow officers and staff, were in jeopardy and serious danger, and that's my job." Weird, because it looked like, the officers that were in front of Ashley Babbitt, when they got there, they got out perfectly safe. I mean, there wasn't any harm done to them, so. Why is that all weird? It's probably because I have this. What is going on with this article? Okay. I don't know why I did that. That was really weird. But let's get through here. Okay, so if they get through the door, they're into the House chamber and upon the members of Congress, he told NBC Babbitt. Babbitt had been posing a threat to the United States House of Representatives, he said. He hoped his commands to stop would have been heeded, but unfortunately they were not. Now, I don't have the video. Like, there's actual video of what happened, and you can hear everything happening, and there is no audible detection that you can hear that he was, like, trying to stop the people, stop Ashley from climbing through the window. There's nothing of that. All you see is his pistol come out from the side and pop. So I don't know what he's talking about there. His commands to stop would have been heeded. Byrd said his actions saved lives. "I know members of Congress, as well as my fellow officers and staff, were in jeopardy and in serious danger, and that's my job." Some who have downplayed or promoted misleading portrayals of the Capitol attack, including former President Donald Trump, had taken up the cause of Babbitt's shooting death. The officer is likely to face the wrath of pro-Trump forces and maybe Trump himself. One January 6th defendant, Garrett Miller, who is facing charges that include calling for the assassination of Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a Democrat from New York, also repeatedly threatened the life of the officer who shot Babbitt. Now, I don't agree with threatening the lives of people. I think, we should try to, seek justice properly. It's kind of dumb of that guy to, call for the assassination of somebody. Don't do that. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. It's not hard. Really not hard. Because, I like I said before, I agree with the right that people should be able to say what they want. But, I mean, you can't call for the assassination of somebody. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. We do have laws against that. We do have laws against that. Let me see something. What is this? YouTube has some dorky stickers. That's definitely something that I like more about Odysee. Odysee has better stickers. The stuff that YouTube has is just silly. Like, if you guys saw before I started the stream, if you're listening to this, obviously you didn't see it because you're listening to a video podcast. But, hey, I appreciate you guys, too. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere that you get your podcasts, you can listen to this. But, yeah, they got some weird stickers there. I don't like them. They're not as cool as Odysee's. So, yeah, we covered, the whole scenario on that. Let's go ahead and talk about the political prisoners from January 6th. Definitely got to talk about that. Definitely got to talk about that. So, from resistthemainstream.com. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word because I'm going to sound like a dummy if I do that. America's persecuted political prisoners. Oh, it's his last name. Jeff Hreier. See? And this was written January 2nd, 2023. The opinions expressed by columnists and their own... The opinions expressed by columnist... Trust me, I'm an intelligent human being. I'm not. I'm
kind of retarded.
Yeah. Are their own and do not necessarily represent the views of Resist the Mainstream. It's really sad that like people actually have to put that on there to cover their companies and all that stuff. Not all the opinions said on a couple of Hoosiers podcasts represents a couple of Hoosiers podcasts, even though it's a couple of Hoosiers that are on the podcast stating their opinions. Weird. Almost 2 years after the January 6, 2021 Washington, D.C. protests that Democrats and the mainstream news media call an insurrection, the Department of Justice, the DOJ, is still asking for the public's help in identifying more people to arrest. Of the 964 individuals charged with crimes for their participation in the protest of January 6, 2021, hundreds are still in Washington, D.C. prisons today. Yeah. 2 years since it happened. I don't know how long all of them have been locked up, but yeah. Almost 1,000 people charged with crimes, and hundreds are still locked up today. The conditions in these prisons are so horrific that 34 January 6th or J6 prisoners asked for a transfer to the military terrorist prison at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, or Gitmo. They would rather be at Guantanamo Bay, where we've had all these reports of, those crazy terrorists like being waterboarded and all that stuff, like horrible tragedies happening within Guantanamo Bay that shouldn't happen. And they want to go there. They want to go there because they think that it will be better than the DC prison. In their letter pleading for a transfer, the J6 prisoners said that Gitmo would provide what they are lacking in their DC prison, namely nutritional meals, sunlight exposure, top-notch medical care, and respect for religious requirements. The harsh treatment of the J6 prisoners is in sharp contrast to the rioters who burned and looted in the aftermath of the death of George Fentanyl Floyd. I had to add the fentanyl part. In police custody in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yeah, I just had to make sure that I added in. I thought about that for anybody who's going to be listening and not actually seeing what's on the screen. Yeah, this article did not say George Fentanyl Floyd. That was me. I said George Fentanyl Floyd. Just to clear the air and make sure people aren't confused. Okay, so in the death of George Floyd in police custody in Minneapolis, Minnesota on May 25th, 2020. These criminals destroyed over $2 billion worth of property, attacked countless police officers, and participated in 574 violent riots throughout the country. The Summer of Love. Some of the worst violence occurred in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Floyd died. Rioters either partially or completely destroyed or burned 1,000 buildings. As a result of this violence, 520 misdemeanor citations were issued, but 95% were quickly dismissed. Only 17 individuals were charged with federal crimes related to either arson or rioting. This kind of minimal prosecution was also displayed in other cities around the country that suffered from the damaging effects of uncontrolled rioting in the summer of 2020. The same federal law enforcement approach was used last summer in the aftermath of the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the respective states. Leftists were outraged. Radical groups recruited protesters to illegally march outside the home of Supreme Court justices. After weeks of protests and little response from the DOJ, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin and Maryland Governor Larry Hogan asked U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland to provide adequate resources to keep the Supreme Court justices and their families safe amid ongoing protests at their home. While hesitant to act regarding left-wing protesters, Garland is not restrained on the issue of J6 protesters. It is clearly the top priority for the DOJ. For example, one J6 protester, Guy Reffitt, was charged with 5 felony counts and sentenced to 7 years in prison. He did not enter the U.S. Capitol on that day, but he was with protesters on the stairs outside of the building. Interesting. His harsh treatment contrasts with the refusal to charge the mysterious Ray Epps, who was seen on multiple videos encouraging members of the crowd to enter the U.S. Capitol. In fact, he was at the barricades outside the building firing up the protesters. While Epps denies that he was a federal informant, there are many unanswered questions about why he was given preferential treatment. While Epps has not been charged, federal authorities are still on the hunt for more J6 Trump supporters. According to investigative reporter Julie Kelly, you have new defendants, new people who have been arrested and charged just this week, including for misdemeanor offenses. They are closing in on 1,000 total defendants, and the DOJ has warned that they are going to look for 1,000 more. Here, we are almost 2 years later. They are still rounding up Trump supporters, destroying their lives, throwing them in prison, and ruining their families. Of the protesters charged, 465 have pleaded guilty. One person, the Democrats, the mainstream media, the deep state, and the establishment Republicans want to add to that list is President Donald Trump. According to a prominent establishment Republican and a potential 2024 GOP presidential candidate, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, Trump's J6 crimes are so egregious that he is hereafter disqualified from serving as president of the United States again. He said January 6th really disqualifies him for the future. So we move beyond that, and that is what I want to be focused on. In 2024, Hutchinson may be a presidential candidate, along with Hogan, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former Vice President Mike Pence, and a host of other Republican leaders. Yet currently, The only announced candidate is Donald Trump. Why aren't they talking about Ye? Come on. He said he was going to be president in 2024. I believe him. If anyone can do it, Ye can do it. Oh, that guy cracks me up. On January 6, 2021, President Trump did not commit or encourage any violence. He did not lead the charge into the U.S. Capitol and was not even present outside the building. Prior to the breach of the U.S. Capitol, he told a massive crowd of his supporters to march over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Despite his calls for nonviolence, Trump was impeached by the U.S. House of Representatives for his actions on January 6, 2021. Fortunately, he was later acquitted by the U.S. Senate. This exoneration did not prevent a U.S. House Select Committee from targeting Trump and their biased activities. The committee was composed of all Democrats and two never Trump Republicans. There was never anything close to a fair proceeding in their activities. Yeah, I mean, if they honestly wanted to make that, they always talk about, the word that they used, bipartisan committee. If they really wanted that, they would have, got some people that were actively like supporting Trump even after January 6th. Because I know there was a lot of people like who were like all for Donald Trump, and then like January 6th happened, and they kind of like tucked tail between their legs, and they're like, oh, he's the orange man bad. We can't support him. But I mean, there were still some people in the political side, politicians that were still supporting him. If they really wanted bipartisanship, they should have got some of them on there. That way, it could have been equal. But we're all crazy conspiracy theorists, and yeah. In essence, the committee conducted a kangaroo court by focusing solely on Trump. Their so-called investigations involved 10 public hearings, as well as reviewing thousands of documents, conducting hundreds of interviews, and issuing dozens of subpoenas. Not surprisingly, the committee recommended to the DOJ that Trump be charged with 4 crimes: conspiracy to defraud the U.S., conspiracy to make false statements, obstruction of the official proceeding, and inciting an insurrection. Geez, that is egregious, if it were true. It remains to be seen what the DOJ will do with these charges, but there is already a special prosecutor who has been appointed to investigate Trump's role in J6 protests, along with the documents brought to his Mar-a-Lago home. Remember when he got raided? Yeah. The unrelenting abuse of President Trump by his enemies is obvious. It must be investigated, along with the horrific treatment of the J6 protesters by the new GOP leadership in the U.S. House of Representatives. Which now we're going to get into that.
That's a segue.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just right there, just reading on who Jeff Croyer, whatever his name is. He's a native New Orleanian, and his award-winning program, Ringside Politics, airs Saturdays from noon until 1 p.m. Central Time, nationally on Real America's Voice TV network. Oh, but yeah. Let's go back over here. You guys still out there in the chat, or did you fall asleep? Am I boring you? But yeah, I mean, you look into it, just the way that there's this two-tier justice system. I mean, they even got into it explaining what was happening with the people who were in the riots of 2020, and then how they've gone gun-ho at the people who are at January 6th. It's insane to me that people are still locked up for that. Hey, how's it going? I was just messing with you guys. But yeah, we got to go ahead and talk about Kevin McCarthy now because, you know, I don't like him. But first, before we get into that, so I don't know. Maybe. Oh, okay. I see. I read this. I read this wrong. I thought it was saying that Kevin McCarthy had won the vote, but it's talking about that. So they're trying to vote for the new Speaker of the House since the the Republicans have won the House of Representatives, and you know they have the majority. So now they need a new speaker because Miss drunk off her ass Nancy Pelosi is no longer going to be FKM. I agree. I agree with that statement. But yeah, he's going to be Speaker of the House. So what does Speaker of the House do? Let's go ahead and, you know, I talk crap about Wikipedia, but I'm going to use it here because it covers pretty much what the speaker does. So from Wikipedia, totally true in everything they say. There's no way that any random person could go on here and edit a page and make it say whatever they want to. Hi. The Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, commonly known as the Speaker of the House, is the presiding officer of the United States House of Representatives. The office was established in 1789 by Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. The Speaker is the political and parliamentary leader of the House and is simultaneously its presiding officer, de facto leader of the body's majority party, and the institution's administrative head. Speakers also perform various other administrative and procedural functions. Given these several roles and responsibilities, the Speaker usually does not personally preside over debates. That duty is instead delegated to members of the House of the majority party, nor does the Speaker regularly participate in floor debates. So, I mean, I've heard a lot of arguments on, like, you know, because it's been pretty much from what I've seen between Kevin McCarthy and Jim Jordan, which I think Jim Jordan is a good guy. But, I mean, they've tried to throw this argument here, like Jim Jordan should, like, be in, like, all these committees and stuff like that, and he should be able to do these debates with people, and, you know, because Kevin McCarthy is a coward and isn't going to do anything. But, I mean, still, he's going to be the leader of the party of the representatives. I mean, do we really want that spineless coward to be that? I don't. The Constitution does not require the Speaker to be an incumbent member of the House of Representatives, although every Speaker thus far has been. The Speaker is second in the United States presidential line of succession after the Vice President and ahead of the President pro tempore of the Senate. The office has been vacant since January 3rd, 2023, and will remain so until the House elects a Speaker for the 118th Congress. So yeah, I don't care about the whole selection. This I thought was pretty interesting. You know, there's been a lot of headlines talking about how crazy it is that they're like up to like how many ballots are required or whatever. And they're like, oh, he needs more than 13, as you can see right here. But look back at December 3rd, 1855 through February 2nd, 1856. Needed 133 ballots to become the Speaker of the House. Crazy. That's crazy. Like going back and looking at history. It's crazy. And look, this guy needed 63. This guy over here needed 44. What's really funny right here is that they don't include the former Speaker of the House in this list. I thought that was pretty funny. I figured Wikipedia would have gave her a shining gold star on here, but you know. So let's go down here. We don't really care about the history. We don't care about the elections. We don't care about none of that. Partisan role. Is this what I was wanting to see? Presiding officer, other functions here. So in addition to being the political and parliamentary leader of the House of Representatives and representing their congressional district, the Speaker also performs various other administrative and procedural functions, such as oversees the officers of the House, the clerk, the sergeant-at-arms, the chief administrative officer, the chaplain. What is a chaplain? I didn't want to go all the way to it. I accidentally clicked it. The chaplain of the United States House of Representatives, the officer of the House of Representatives, responsible for beginning each day's proceeding with a prayer. Oh. Cool. Interesting. Okay, so the Speaker of the House also serves as the chairperson of the House Office Building Commission. It is the entity within the House of Representatives of the United States that oversees the various functions of the House and its office building. So, you know, they control everything that's going on in the House of Representatives. Appoints the House parliamentarian, historian, general counsel, and inspector general. Administers the House audio and video broadcasting system. Yes, they did. Are you telling people in the chat that, or are you trying to tell me that? Because if you're trying to tell me that, then you missed something that I said earlier. Yeah, she was jaywalking. She was jaywalking, and apparently the Capitol Police were following her and waiting for her to commit the crime. I don't know. I was trying to find a video to pull it up here. I couldn't really find it, but yeah, she got arrested. Like that's what I was showing in that earlier video when those people were outside of the Capitol, where Capitol Police were present, and they were dropping acid, and that was totally fine. But Ashley Babbitt's mom decides to jaywalk, and you know, gotta arrest her. Crazy stuff. We live in a crazy world, but yeah, I mean, you guys get what I'm trying to get at. Well, you got to bring in those groceries. That's an important thing. Got to make sure those groceries are inside. That is a good excuse. I will allow it. It's fine. But yeah. Here, I'll go ahead and just in case any of you guys missed it, I'll go ahead and play this again. So yeah, it's perfectly acceptable to drop acid in front of the Capitol Police, but God forbid Ashley Babbitt's mother jaywalks. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this wonderful video.
Drugs? He's taking drugs. Hey, what did you just take? What? Is that acid? What is that?
It's contact acid. You just look at it and you're gonna get high.
King acid, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're already getting wasted.
You don't want that hep C to land on you. Hepatitis.
Oh. Drugs?
Oh. And also I showed this guy right here was the guy who, if you guys have heard some of my sound effects, he said this in a Steven Crowder segment.
Eat my butt!
Yeah, that guy. And I kind of showed it, so if you want to see that, go back. But we're already too far into it. I'm not going that far back. But yeah, just since you guys brought that up, I figured I'd go back and show you just in case you missed it. Just in case you missed it. Because, yeah, you know, acts like that don't matter. I mean, like I said, we got a two-tier justice system right now. And, you know, if you're on the left, I mean, you can practically get away with murder. Well, let's keep on talking about the Rhino McCarthy. I am sorry to trip on that. I missed it. It's all good. It's all good. McCarthy nominated for 11th ballot in the longest House Speaker contest in 164 years. Loses again. See, I had read that wrong. I don't know if they had a vote today and he won, but last I had heard he was a loser again. He was a loser. Look at him. Look at him in his loser face. Loser. Oh, that's I thought I had a get what they want. We need term limits. 4 years at most. No benefits, no extras, no fluff. Just people serving people for people. That's funny, Burker. But, Rick, I say, how about no government? Crazy idea, crazy idea. I don't know. So here's a tweet from Chris. Subscribe to Law Dork Geidner. I don't know this person. So I guess the defectors got bored with their historic pick for speaker after a few votes. Rep. Byron Donalds doesn't even get his name entered into nomination on the 11th ballot. McCarthy will not secure the speakership on the 11th ballot. So yeah, he lost. He lost. Trump's name got on it. That would be cool. Yeah, see, I don't necessarily understand the whole process of what they're talking about, like 11th ballots. I think they have to reach a certain number of votes, like depending on how many people are. Oh wait, I am on my face. You guys can't even see the screen. I'm a loser. I was just sitting here looking at it. But yeah, McCarthy nominated for 11th ballot in the longest House Speaker contest in 164 years. Like I said, from that trustworthy Wikipedia page, you know. But like I said, yeah, there's his loser face and this guy. And then these were the votes or whatnot was going on. Like, he had to get a certain amount of votes to even, like, know if he was going to win. Because there's certain people who just aren't going to vote for him because, you know, they stick to their values. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Like, there's a lot of people, like, because we've talked about this before, how, like, this last midterm was supposed to be, like, a red wave. And, like, a lot of people have... Even Trump has criticized a lot of conservative stances on abortion, and he has said that is a big reason on why we lost, because we wouldn't bend to the abortion issue. And honestly, in my opinion, I would rather people stick to their values and focus on winning. I mean, because we got to think about, like, what country we're going to be shaping. Like, winning is not the only thing that matters. I mean, we have to change culture and we have to stand up for our values. I want to win. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna throw away my values and my beliefs just to win. That's how you become a sellout. That's how you become a rhino. And we don't need any more of those. So, Representative Kevin Rhino McCarthy has been nominated for House Speaker once again in the 11th round of voting. Thursday saw 5 ballots cast without a winner. in voting that has been going on for 3 days. It is now the longest House Speaker contest in 164 years. McCarthy was nominated in the 11th round by Representative French Hill. In his nomination, Representative Hill said that the job of the House Speaker takes a special personality with a great amount of humility and patience. I can say without hesitation that Kevin has brought these foundational traits of leadership to bear for the good of this institution and for the good of the American people, Hill said. In the 10th round of voting on Thursday evening, McCarthy was defeated with 20 Republican lawmakers voting against him and Republican Representative Victoria Spartz voting present. Texas Republican Representative Pete Sessions had claimed that there was a breakthrough in negotiations, but that there were still a significant number of holdouts who have voted to never yield. It is my understanding that several votes will come by agreement with the deal that evidently has been arranged this afternoon. It started last night. It just took a while to materialize, Sessions said. There is some progress and headway, and that's essentially what it's going to take. Groups of people that will then come to some agreement. I think getting 3 or 4, 5 more people will be progress, Sessions said, but noted that there are 7 or 8 members who will never yield. Good for them. Good for them. Oh, I just saw your comment down there, Bert Kerr. They are shaping McCarthy. I'm going to identify as Canadian. Are you going to get a horse and some funny pants and a funny hat and be a Mountie as well? Say it's about time we go get some syrup. That's my Canadian accent. I just love the fact that they say a boot. It's a boot. They're funny. Okay, so one of McCarthy's most outspoken opponents has said that while he may win, he will do so with the world's best constructive straitjacket. There are only 2 outcomes here. Either Kevin McCarthy withdraws from the speaker's race, or he has to wake up every morning and put on the world's best constructive straitjacket before doing the prayer and the pledge at the beginning of House session, Gates told Fox News, adding that he's working on how to construct that straitjacket. So yeah, Matt Gaetz is one of those guys who's like not going to bend. Good job. Kevin McCarthy was offered everything he can think to offer and everything we can think to ask for due to his current state of desperation. And I can't tell you whether or not that will be enough to get him there. I doubt it will, he said. Yeah, we're not going to watch that. You know, another thing that I've heard people say for this whole Kevin McCarthy thing is, I guess, if like the Republicans can't figure out somebody in their party to be Speaker of the House, then Democrats can offer somebody up. I believe a Democrat. I could be wrong on that. But if that's what I've been hearing is a reason why some of these people are like, oh, well, we got to get a Republican in. I don't care about Republican, Democrat. Like, look at, like, that's the whole point of the whole rhino term, you know, Republican in name only. I don't care about somebody who has an R next to their name. I care about how they voted, how they act, if they have integrity, what their values are, like, because if we're going to get somebody like Kevin McCarthy, who is clearly a rhino, then you might as well just throw a Democrat in there. So because we're about to get into how Trump recently came out in support of him, and I don't know. I don't know what he's doing lately. He's doing some crazy things. But let's check it out. So from the Hill. Oh, hey, isn't that a nice video? Lou Dobbs. About time to get some pancakes and maple syrup, eh? You forgot the A. They always say A, bud. Lou Dobbs knocks Trump for backing McCarthy speaker bid. So this was January 4th by Dominic Mastrangelo. That's a name. Former Fox Business host and conservative pundit Lou Dobbs. Get this video out of the way. Go away. Get back where you belong. Blasted former President Trump for throwing his support behind Republican leader Kevin McCarthy's bid for House Speaker. Trump dismisses the 20 patriots challenging Rhino McCarthy, says McCarthy will do good job, and tells them effectively to do what swamp and corporate globalist order. Trump backs Rhino and swamp, Dobbs wrote in a tweet on Wednesday morning. I mean, he kind of ain't lying. I mean, because, yeah, the establishment definitely wants McCarthy to be the House Speaker. I mean, no doubt about it. Like we saw in that video earlier with Fox News. What was the segment? Fox and Friends. They were saying that if you didn't agree with Kevin McCarthy being the House Speaker, you were an insurrectionist. Don't watch Fox News. The question mark is pronounced A in Canada. Oh, that's funny. I like that. E. I think there was a loud car that just went by. They all can agree to give Ukrainian, all those numbers, but they can't agree on anything for us. It's time for them to go. True, yeah. I just saw that they're about to send some more money over there. Again. They're sending some tanks over there. They look pretty cool. I should have grabbed that article, but yeah, very true. But I mean, do you really want them agreeing on something like this, like putting Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker of the House? I mean, it was bad enough when Nancy Pelosi was in there. I mean, especially when Trump gave his State of the Union speech and she ripped the speech in half at the end of it. That was a wonderful moment in American history. Okay, so the pundit was responding to a call from Trump for all Republicans in the House to vote for McCarthy for Speaker, after he failed on Tuesday 3 times to secure enough votes to win the spot. And, this is what I find pretty funny. I like Trump. Don't get me wrong. I like Trump. I do. Now, there's a lot of things that he does that I disagree with him. I will fully come out and say that he is not pro-Second Amendment. He might be pro-gun. He might think, oh, yeah, Americans should have a pistol and a shotgun, but he had a lot of talks about red flag laws. I hate those. Completely unconstitutional. He was coming after body armor. He banned bump stocks. I mean, so he's not a Second Amendment guy. And then you got him doing stuff like this. I mean, there's Operation Warp Speed. There's a lot of things that he does that I don't really agree with, but I mean, I still like the guy. It's just hilarious how there's literally people out there that love this guy so much that no matter what he says, he is never wrong, and they will just bend over backwards to do whatever he says, and that's what he expects. Like, I mean, people need to realize that, like, Trump is just a guy. Like, yeah, I mean, he did a great job. He did a great job as president. Like I said, there's things that I don't agree with him, but there's clearly people out there that just go head over feet for him and will do whatever he says. Not what Trump says, what he does. What do you mean? I didn't understand that.
I'm kind of retarded.
How dare you?
Republicans do not turn a great triumph into a giant and embarrassing defeat. It's time to celebrate. You deserve it. Kevin McCarthy will do a good job. It may be even a great job. Just watch, Trump said in a social media post early Wednesday morning. Dobbs, a Trump loyalist during this time in the White House, also criticized Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican in Georgia, who has voiced support for McCarthy and criticized hardline Republicans in the House who have stood in the way of his speakership bid. Yeah, I could not believe, like, I don't know if you guys saw that Marjorie Taylor Greene came out in support for McCarthy, because I believe it was like the day before I had heard that she came out in support for him, that she was like seriously like criticizing him, and she was like, I'm never going to vote for him. And then I think she's one of those people, like, she heard Trump say, hey, vote for this guy. And she was like, okay. MTG is an unprincipled sellout and applauds President Trump as he disappoints his millions of supporters by aligning with the rhinos who've collaborated with the Marxist Dems and deep state trying to destroy him, Dom said of the conservative congresswoman who is also a leading supporter of Trump. These 20 congressmen deserve all our thanks, respect, and support. So, yeah. Yeah, you got... Let's see. Can we pull this up? Oh, that's just another article. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know if I would want Jim Jordan to be the Speaker of the House, because, like, from what I've gathered, like, the Speaker of the House can't be, like, on certain committees, and there's been a lot of committees that Jim Jordan has been, like, really essential on, where he'll, like, say exactly what needs to be said, and he's not afraid to say it. Like, he's a really good guy, and he's not gonna bow down to anybody. But at the same time, do we really want Kevin McCarthy to be the Speaker? I mean, he's a spineless coward. I don't like him. He's just like so many weak politicians that we have these days. He's just like this guy over here. Oh, whoops. I got this thing all messed up. Yeah, that guy right there. Hello, I'm Todd Young. I'm a rhino who supports red flag laws and gay marriage. Keep your dunce cap on, bud. I don't know. I mean, in Kevin's defense, he is from California. Yeah. That that wonderful state. You know what? Speaking of California, that like I've talked about San Francisco before, how like there's a bunch of like, you know, poop all over the city. I can't remember what the app is, but there is an app that literally you take picture of the poop that is on the ground and you put it on the app, and it's meant to, like, you know, send to like the Department of Health or whatever, some government agency, to say, hey, look how dirty and filthy this city is. You guys need to do something about it. But they're like, I can't think of the name of the app, but you can literally go to this app and you just see brown dots like all over the place. Like there's literally poop all over the city. Like it's becoming a big problem in a lot of our cities, and it just shows where we're going as a country. Like more and more of the bigger cities are like just turning into these crap holes that I don't even want to step foot in. And I don't know. Times are getting weird. Times are getting really weird. I ain't really got nothing else to talk about. I mean, yeah, Kevin McCarthy, I don't like him. I think it's crazy that the J6 prisoners are still there, and the fact that they're actually asking to be sent to Guantanamo Bay. And honestly, I thought they, I don't know, did I hear wrong? I thought Guantanamo Bay got shut down. I just thought about that. I thought bomb dropping Obama got that place shut down because they were being inhumane to a crazy terrorist. Any of you guys know about that? Shed some light. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Or maybe I misheard something. Maybe I'm spreading more of that misinformation that I got to be careful on this website, platform, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, just follow over here at Odysee, and then I can say whatever I want to say. I promise I'm not as extreme as these platforms make me sound. Some will say. But they're idiots. And I don't care about them. Yeah, I really don't have anything else to talk about. Oh, you guys were talking in the chat the other day. I just thought about this, about how Kanye had went missing and whatever. Well, I guess he had some like files charged on him for something. I can't remember what it was, but from what I gathered, he was like trying to go under the radar because people were like suing him for a bunch of money. Yeah, he didn't get charges. He was getting sued. He was getting sued for like millions of dollars, and the general consensus was that he was like, you know, trying to dodge that, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to pay millions of dollars to people either, especially if it's bullcrap. But yeah. Let me take a look at something. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. We've gone for about, saying I've been live for an hour and 45 minutes, and about the first 5 minutes was me trying to get everything set back up on YouTube because I was a dummy and I didn't set it up properly before I started the stream. That was funny. I do want to say I'm getting close to episode 50. Episode 50. Getting really close to it. Come a long way. And I've decided that for episode 50, I have all of my episodes like on like a hard drive, and I got a bunch of funny like bloopers and stuff like that, and like things that because usually what we'll do before we start the stream is like we'll do like these tests to make sure everything sounded good, everything's looking good, everything's working properly, and we still have problems, but I think I'm gonna do like a special little video that like kind of like shows like the podcast like progression from like where we started, because we originally started as an audio only podcast, and like I kind of had like the thought in my mind of doing something like this, like a video podcast, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, but I'm kind of happy with doing it now. I like doing the live streams and having people like chat with me inside of there. Definitely share the podcast. That way we can get some more people in here. You guys can talk with each other, and I can talk with people. And it's definitely the biggest way to support the channel is by sharing the podcast. It's the biggest way that you can help. Also hitting that like button wherever you're at. I'm going to be uploading this video to YouTube, and see, I'm used to being on Odysee. I'm going to be uploading to Odysee and Rumble. So if you're not following me there, be sure to go follow me there. But yeah, for episode 50, I'm going to try to put together a special little video where like I show the progression of the podcast, because we've gone through a lot of changes. Like if you've seen the podcast before, obviously it looks different. But yeah, I'm going to include like bloopers in there. It's going to be a pretty good little video that I'm going to put out there. I don't know if I'll name it episode 50. I don't know. I might just like make the video and just put it out there and let you guys watch it, and then do an episode 50. We'll see how it goes, but I haven't decided yet. I did say at the beginning of the podcast we are going to be doing an episode Thursday. There's not going to be any episode tomorrow, because I kind of changed things around this week to make sure that we could do the episode on January 6th, because we couldn't pass up this anniversary date, the worst attack to our democracy since the Civil War. Could have missed that. So I definitely had no idea. Maybe something's late. That's a late comment. I've been talking about a lot of things, because I think you're referring to that as Guantanamo Bay. See, that's the biggest thing that annoys me with the live streams, is that like there's like a delay between what I'm saying and what you guys see. So I always get like the comments a little bit later. Sometimes it throws me off, but yeah, like I was saying, today's episode, we were supposed to trash talk some vegans, because veganism is weird, and they're literally trying to say that people who eat meat are immoral and evil. But their arguments have no grounding. And that's pretty much what we're going to do Thursday. We're going to do our trash talking veganism episode Thursday. I haven't decided whether we're going to do it on YouTube or Odysee. I will let you guys know. But it's going to be a good episode. I got a lot of funny content that I'm including in, and you guys definitely are going to want to miss that one. It's going to be a great episode. But let me go ahead and run this ad and get off of here. I'm going to run the ad for any new viewers, possible new viewers. You know how it goes. So a couple of Hoosiers podcasts. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox, pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts. We live stream on Odysee and YouTube and upload to Rumble. If you want to get everything all in one place, go to coupleofhoosiers.com. I write blogs for all the episodes, and I also make some funny memes. Also, R&M Kurtz Woodworks, me and my wife's little woodworking company. You can find us on Facebook, and we got some pictures over here on some of the products that we've made. Our email is down there, r.m.kurtz.woodworks@gmail.com. Get a hold of us, and we'll see if we can do anything for you. I remember your first one. It was black and white and only subtitles. You have come a long way. Yeah, these comments are coming in pretty late, so that's pretty funny. Pretty funny. You guys are going to be seeing this a little while later. I don't know how they're, because usually it's like a 30-second delay, but this has got to be longer than 30 seconds. Yeah, see, I'm starting to see the comments roll in. It's funny. But, yeah. Also for people, let me make sure I got all this stuff right before I tell you guys about it. But go out and go over to Odysee. Like I was saying, we do some of our live streams over there. I'm going to be kind of switching back and forth between live streaming on Odysee and live streaming on YouTube. Eventually, I want to live stream to Rumble, but we haven't got there yet. In the future, I just want to put the live stream out to like multiple platforms. Like I'll put it on Facebook as well. But we got to get there. But yeah, make sure you go to a couple of Hoosiers podcasts on Odysee.com. Like and follow us on there. Check out our content. That's where most of our streams have been. We've had some really good episodes. Episode 40 was really good. That was a really good one. Episode 38, the diabolical plot of Alfred Kinsey and John Money. If you haven't watched that, definitely go back and watch that because there's crazy things. Also, if you don't like watching the full episode because it's too long and you got too much going on in your day, go to Odysee.com and find COH podcast clips. Be sure to follow it. I need some followers on it. I only got 2 over here. So go ahead and go over there. I put all my clips on there. And it's also a good way to share out the podcast because that's one of the biggest ways that you can help the podcast grow is by sharing out like the podcast, these little clips, give people a little taste of what we're all about. Also, if you're on Facebook, be sure to go to a couple of Hoosiers podcasts and like and follow us. I don't care about your guys' new post. Get out of here. I'm trying to do something. Gosh. But yeah, that's gonna be the episode. It's been a good one. We talked about a lot of interesting information. Everything that they say about January 6th is complete bull, and I don't agree with none of it. And also, remember, be sure to check us out next Thursday. We're going to be trash talking some vegans because they need to be trash talked because they're silly. But you guys have a great night. I'm going to get out of here and go do some stuff. I don't know. Yes, that's what it was. That's what I thought. Yeah, I don't know either. Just thought that popped into my head. I'm going to have to look it up because I had heard that Guantanamo Bay was shut down. Or maybe I'm just thinking that's what I heard. I don't know. Maybe people were calling for it to be shut down. But you guys take it easy. I'm going to get out of here. Bye.